I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co., and this is News and Week in Review, where we go over a variety of news pieces, the games we covered, the videos we covered, all of that and more, although this week is a fairly short news week. We have 3 news pieces over here, all tied to money this time around. We have CMON, who announced that they're going to have $8 million of losses in the first half of 2025. I am very intrigued by this. I'll link down below to the Board Game Wire article on it. You can go through it. There's a whole bunch of chatter about this one. As usual, same question if you ask me, should I be worried about my insert name here for CMON? Yes, but not necessarily more or less than you should have been until now. I mean, the ducks have fallen where they're fallen. The issues are currently there. The only question is, were they able to right the ship in terms of what and how they were handling things? And again, especially with crowdfunding, the way losses can be written off against gains and all that, it becomes weird. None of this is a good look. To be very, very clear, none of this is a good look. Same advice I've given the past 17 times is applied. If a CMON crowdfunding campaign launches tomorrow, I would not recommend spending money on it until there's a lot more confidence in the righting of the ship. Until then, it's a ship that's very much on tilt. You can check out the Board Game Wire article for just how much on tilt it is, but it's not a good look. I'll say that much. But anyways, that is as far as CMON. In slightly better news, or much better news, we have Big Potato. Big Potato, who makes a bunch of party games, a minority stake in them was just bought for £16.5 million. So again, I'll link to the Board Game Wire down below. But $16.5 million for a minority stake, which means there's a lot of money in party games if done right. And then in bad news, Funko is down $40 million. So Funko is continuing its trend of losses, not like Funko board games. The Funko board games are already closed, but Funko is a general, the Funko Pops. They're down $40 million, which is an insane amount to be down. Supposedly they're citing lesser interest in collectibles, except I think Labubu screams otherwise. I think the interest in collectibles has just shifted to a whole lot of blind boxes and Labubus. Mostly Labubus, honestly. I think it's Labubus all the way down. So those are our 3 news pieces, all subject around companies going up and down. The one most relevant to probably most of my viewership is going to be that CMON one. It's definitely not a good look. It's definitely not a good look, but I don't know if anything changes right now. Keep your eyes peeled for whatever the next campaign is that supposedly is or isn't. The thing I will never understand, I'll never understand why they were picking up other games' IPs if they were having their own issues. But I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and dive into the videos of the week. Videos of the week, as usual, we had on Sunday was it? I think 10 games I'm getting rid of. It was a video of 10 games that I'm getting rid of, specifically because I'm loving Shackleton Base and Pirates of Maracaibo. In general, those are my 2 5 out of 5 games this year, at least so far. Loving them, cannot get enough of them, keep playing them both, and it made me get rid of 10 great games, including some other 5 out of 5. Some games that have been around for a very long time got the axe because I decided it's time to let them go. We also had 2 Back or Not to Back going up on Monday. It was a shorter 2 Back or Not to Back just to make sure we're covering a bunch of the crowdfunding campaigns as we dive into. I actually don't know what next week is going to be. I don't know how busy next week is, but we'll see. There's definitely some 2 Back or Not to Back. At the very least, there's Ark Nova and Blood Rage Valhalla. Oh, Blood Rage Valhalla, that's going to be a fun video because people... Here's the thing with Blood Rage Valhalla. How much do I want to do this? Blood Rage Valhalla. I guarantee you a lot of you want me to really rag on that campaign. To really, really rag. And I haven't decided if I'm doing a dedicated should you back it or not. It might just be the main focus of 2 Back or Not to Back, depending on how busy that video is. But there is a lot of stuff to be critical of. But the game itself is pretty good. So, I mean, it is 90% still Blood Rage, but it's an iteration. It's like, Everdell and Everdell Farshore or whatnot. It's an iteration, but it's a good iteration of Blood Rage. Do you need it? Not necessarily. Definitely not need. Need is a strong word. Would I recommend it? Absolutely I would. Are they changing the board? Yes, they are, supposedly, because overwhelming amounts of feedback. Are there critical things to say? For sure. At the very least, there's the $1 pre-order, which you all know that I hate. But I also don't hate it as much as you might think, but I think that's partially because I've played it. Like, I'm Banzinator as well. Banzinator is someone else who also had a chance to play it, and her opinion as well is probably, it seems from what she said, similar to mine. Like, it's a good game. But I will be appropriately critical over the things that worth being critical of, like the board and the $1 pre-order, as well as possibly other things. But the game itself is a pretty good game. Anyways, that's 2 Back Not to Back this past week. I'm just getting sidetracked. Then we also had a month in review and games added to collection. Both those went up on Wednesday, just covering what's on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. But a month in review for July and games added to the collection for July, or technically I call it for August, but based on the games played in July. Then we had the vlog. We had the vlog week 2 went up. This is kind of just me walking and talking a lot. I didn't love this one. I think week 3 is better, and I think week 4 is good too. Week 1 is probably going to be my favorite one, because week 1 is like a full-on, like, hey, I'm just cleaning up everything. I think week 3 and 4 are going to be decent, better than week 2. Week 2, I thought it'd be more interesting, and it ended up me being distracted by Gen Con, so I just walked around and talked a lot, which is not the worst thing I can do, but also not the most interesting thing I could do. As far as the videos, as far as the games we covered this past week, we had a bunch. We had a preview for Wishland, the card game, going up. That was done by Meg. Didn't play it. I don't have any thoughts. But Wishland, the card game. I played Wishland, the board game. If you want to check out Wishland, the card game, that campaign will be launching shortly. We have a Wild Venture. I really like that one. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I was actually sad they asked me to send it on to somebody else, which it's usually a good sign if I'm sad when they ask me to send a game on, and I am sad. I want that one back when they eventually, you know, do the final games. But I liked the Wild Venture. It's very cute. It's very charming. There's kitten. I closed the door. I closed the door because I'm trying to keep him out right now so I can do this video. But the kitten went running. Anyways. That was Wild Venture. Gave it a 4 out of 5. There's Ketsuegi. Journeys Afar with the Ketsuegi. Gameplay of that. This is a sponsored gameplay. I will have more thoughts coming next week because I'm doing a first impressions video, so I will save my thoughts for right now because they are coming next week. Then there's Blood Rage. Blood Rage Valhalla. I did a first impressions of Blood Rage Valhalla. I liked the game. I talked about that. I got a lot. I don't know if I got hate. I think the board got hate. The board got a lot of hate. And then that was mostly it. It was 98% of the comments were people who hated the board. That's probably a lie. It was probably like 34%. But that's still a big chunk of comments were people who hated the board. And I get it. Honestly, this is a little bit on me. I talked about this in some of the comments, but when I was playing the game, I was on TTS, and they showed the board, and my first reaction was like, whoa, I was not expecting that. Like, I really was not expecting that. But then by the time I was playing the game, I had forgotten that I disliked the board. And that the problem is, here's the problem. The problem is, to all of you who see the board, but didn't have a chance to play the game, you don't have the opportunity to know whether you would forget that you hated the board or not. But like, I literally, like, sometimes when I'm doing reviews, I'll be like, hey, I didn't like the art, but I like the game. This one I just forgot. I forgot that the board was something I didn't like by the time I was done playing. I don't know what that necessarily means, but the board is something I'm happy they are changing. Overall, Blood Rage Valhalla is a good version of Blood Rage. If you were just hoping for an entirely different game, you will be disappointed. It's 90% Blood Rage with tweaks that make it different. Those tweaks I mostly think are a good thing. But is it a better version of Blood Rage? I need more plays, but I think it might well be, board aside. So yeah, check out Blood Rage Valhalla, my first impressions on that. Then we had 4 Shuffle expansions, a review of the 4 Shuffle expansions with my daughter. I can't remember the name, Alpine something and something something. I don't remember the name. Woodlands Edge and Alpine Trails, Lakes, something. But I did a little review of those mini expansions. They are mini expansions. You throw out a bunch of cards to 4 Shuffle. They're good expansions. I like 4 Shuffle. I like the expansions. We had a preview for Chicago Poker, a sponsored preview. Didn't play this one. I don't have thoughts on it. We have Jackpot. I did a review of Jackpot. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It's kind of fun. I'm worried about the replayability on it. It's a little too deterministic. That might limit the replayability, but it is a fun game outside of that. Like, it's really, really fun. Surprisingly fun, but the theme I don't care for, and replayability, I'm not quite sure. And then lastly, there was a How to Play on Blasphemous, done by Asaf Hirsch, Easy Board Games, on the channel. So if you want to check out a Blasphemous How to Play, that went up as well. And that was basically the videos of this past week, which brings us to today. Today, we're going to have a few things going up. We should have a review for Jungo going up. That's a new game from the people who did Trio. As well as, speaking of 4 Shuffle, we have a review for 4 Shuffle Dartmoor going up with myself and my daughter, covering our thoughts on 4 Shuffle Dartmoor. Which brings us to next week. Next week, we will have a bunch of things. We're going to have a first impressions of Journeys of Afar Ketsuegi, like I mentioned. We should have upcoming crowdfunding campaigns. I say should because we'll see. We'll see. There should be an upcoming crowdfunding campaigns for the month of September, I guess, because we're going to be going into September. That should hopefully be going up towards the end of the week. As far as the games on the table, as usual, these are games I hope to be diving into this next week. We have Peak Team Rangers, which I've already played once, and I need to play it more, because that's how reviews work. Also, there's like 5 levels, so I need to play it like at least 4 more times. But the Peak Team Rangers, so far enjoying it, but let's talk more when I actually play it more. We have Orbit, another one that I've already played multiple times, and we'll have more thoughts and opinions coming to you shortly, but I want to play it at least 1 more time. We have The Mind Soulmates, which I was uncertain about this one, but having read the rules, I'm more excited about this. Maybe it's good, maybe not, but I'm certainly more excited about it. We have Horrified Dungeons & Dragons, which on my list of trying to get through all my Gen Con games, this is going to be one of the ones I hope to be diving into this coming week. And then we have 12 Rivers, read the rules, prepped to go, but have not actually played it yet. So hopefully we'll be doing that one shortly. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. This was a fairly brief weekend review. Not a lot to go over this week. But until next time, I hope you have a good one.